Leo, hello, welcome. My name is Ali, and this is Indigo Ascension. It's a channel dedicated to empaths, intuitives, and sensitives, those that find themselves on the awakening path or journey. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thanks for being here. We're going to do something a little bit different with the fortnightly readings this time around. If you haven't already, guys, go out and check your June Practically Soulful readings are up for the month. As some of you guys might be aware, it is about grounding down that higher consciousness, obviously. You know, we can say we're connected into higher consciousness and higher knowing and different realms and ways in which to look at ourselves and experience as life as intuitives and empaths and sensitives. However, it's quite another thing altogether to truly ground that higher wisdom down into the everyday realities we find ourselves in. Yeah, guys, it's these are the classrooms of life, our challenges, our conflicts, our fears that show up when it comes to love, connection, intimacy, how we truly do want to experience expansion, you know, like these are the themes that are playing out thanks to the retrogrades this month. And we're really looking at ways in which we've been told to live when it comes to rules, structures, what is and isn't done, you know, thanks to the values that are handed to us by family, religion, society, or otherwise. We're looking at ways in which, like I said a little bit earlier, about how to expand what I'm currently experiencing in life, and how does that tie into manifestation and what have I been manifesting up to this point. With 5 planets in retrograde this month, we've got Venus, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and also Mercury. Now, since April, the 4 planetary retrogrades have been about us really going to the depths, going within, going through the timeline to see all these things we've learned up to this point. And if you want to say that we are all awakening on some level, perhaps what we're awakening to is higher consciousness and new ways of doing things, yeah? So enter the mix is Mercury, and Mercury wants this energy out. So we're going to be finding there's going to be naturally some conflict or tension or a need to express something or release something. We're going to notice a very push-pull energy between love versus fear and oppression versus freedom. And it goes without saying, a lot of us can, and we can see that volatility that exists already in collective events, yeah? So this energy cosmically is a gift to be able to tap into when it comes to alchemical transformations, perhaps, you know. The energies of the planets, you know, they are cyclical, and if we don't take this opportunity, will we miss out? No, it will always come around. You know, these perfect ingredient moments always do come around again in many ways, but this is the gift to us this month. But like I said, go check out your monthly readings for a bit more insight into those retrograde energies. Now, my lovely Leo, we're going to take a look at your June 1 to 5. Like I said, guys, if you've been to the channel before and seen the readings, I'm doing something a little bit different. Really looking at the energy of you and the other. Now, that other can be your most significant connection. It can be your most prominent challenge at present. It could be your most prominent focus, your career path, or whatever the case may be. You will intuitively know what that is. I am also finding that I'm wanting to read it as a whole energy, okay? So we are, as much as we are experiencing a mirror, in the collective energies, we all also are accepting that integration too. So what I see in someone else exists within me, yeah? So see what comes up, see what wants to present, but I'll also look at the bridging energy as well, and if I feel so called, I'll pull some soul cards. All right, Leo, let's take a look. The Moon card, the 8 of Wands, and the Lovers. Literally every zodiac has got the Lovers. Divine Love, Venus retrograde. Venus gets out of retrograde towards the end of the month, so I'll cover that in your second fortnightly reading. You're dealing with the full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius on the 5th, which its energy will be felt for a long time, okay? So we're going to be experiencing that expansive Jupiterian energy in Sagittarius, but like I said, Jupiter is currently retrograde, so we're wanting to eclipse this need to be anywhere other than here, but yet not having that solidified, concrete what that is, if that makes sense. Mercury is going retrograde into Cancer, and perhaps it's one of the more softer retrogrades because it is happening in Cancer, but it represents the mother, it represents home and hearth. I want to pull those two together. It represents the way in which we nurture self. What are we nurturing? You know, does my career nurture me? Does this relationship nurture me? Does my thinking nurture me? Underneath all this, Leo, is the energy of heartbreak. Okay, there's a lot of wisdom that comes from true heartbreak, and those moments in life that really do shock us are revealing, you know, when all masks are off. This is the energy of the retrogrades in many ways too, you know. The energy of the retrogrades is to bring forth all that we have suppressed, is to bring down the masks others wear so that we see the truth. Maybe you're currently experiencing this. All right. Maybe this is something from the past. I do want to say that I'm connecting into Leos that are experiencing some form of revelation when it comes to heartbreaking truth. Something has been made aware to you. And you're feeling very conflicted between a head, the swords, and heart decision. There's tears here, obviously. Just give me a minute, Leo. Again, I feel the need to sort of... Okay. There was something here in the past that you intuitively sensed, were aware of, when it comes to messages, when it comes to the messages received from someone that might have been a new prospect, is what I'm feeling. There's a sense here of something hidden when the moon shows up, of deceit, yes, of needing to uncover messages or messages that have been sent with hidden messages, okay? I'm going to read this in a couple of ways, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to get it over and done with. I'm connecting into a Leo that sensed something was not quite right, perhaps in a love connection, okay, or wasn't feeling quite right. And then there were these messages, whether you came across these messages, Leo, whether you had discovered messages, whether you are, something wasn't quite right, okay? There's deceit energy here about messages. There's an intuitive knowing. So I will clarify, okay? But because the Three of Swords is underneath the deck, and now the energy I'm picking up from all of the cards, okay? And I'll explain these further, all right? I feel like in many ways there was communication, okay, between you and another, between two people, okay, where someone wasn't communicating the truth and someone else intuitively knew that, okay? It could be in relation to messages. This is a long distance thing if you're connecting into, because of worldwide restrictions and whatnot, if you recently met someone, okay, and you couldn't quite come together and you were sort of relying, or you couldn't quite get back together, you're relying on communications, online communications. So this is lots of text messages, lots of online messages, okay? But there was something here that kept itself hidden, but you sensed it, okay? So both people were aware of this need to just be this hidden knowing, okay? There's intuition at play here. You might be connecting into a Pisces or a Gemini, okay, or a fire sign. You might have those in your chart. I'm also not sure if I want to continue communications, okay? I'm sensing something was discovered here, guys, because this is the online watcher, or communications received, and that is our fears that we are holding back. And when we're holding back fears, we can be holding back because we're afraid to tell the truth. I'm holding back and I'm watching and I'm waiting, okay? But I sense that something is quite manipulative. This can apply to any connection, friendship, work colleague, lover, potential lover, okay? The King of Wands can potentially be ruled by his passions. Now I want to clarify. I'll also read this for another Leo that was umming and ahhing about starting something or even restarting something, okay? We are in retrograde energy. There was a holding back and waiting and seeing, okay? But a lot of open to communication. I'm open to communicating. I'm open to connecting, but I'm definitely holding back and watching to see if they might be talking to other people, seeing other people. Let's see if anything online resembles a relationship so that I can see if they actually are free, or are they some form of a manipulator or motivated by, you know, ego choices. It's interesting the energy I pick up when wow, the Seven of Swords. Let's see if it wants to come back up. Okay, so if that's your story, I'm going to now divide it into two. If this is you and another, okay? This is you treading lightly, following your intuition, but open to communication, okay? So receiving a lot of communication. It could definitely be connected to love. It could be connected to anything that feels like a passion project that needs your head and heart, okay? Where you were once intuitively treading lightly and just following gut feelings, making decisions as things arose. Okay, now we've got all these restrictions in place. Is that a good time for me to do this? Lots of questions, research, communication with those that might be able to connect into and help you. Feeling a divine partnership, whether that's a collaboration or not, okay? This is you connecting into your higher self too, Leo, okay? Lots of communications and research, a lot of, I mean, not necessarily research, but asking other people, would you buy this? Would you do this? Okay, pushing through. What does this situate, if this is a situation, what does that mean for you then, if that is the case? I do see here there is research energy because you're holding back out of fear on some level, and that's fine. But you are manifesting an opportunity that's going to ultimately ignite your passion again, okay? This is you getting excited about your path, your purpose. This is you calling forth this renewed sense of confidence within yourself and your output and what it is, your gift to the world, your career, whatever the case may be, Leo, okay? You're calling this forth, but I do see you're holding back and you're just watching. You're watching things play out for the minute, okay? And underneath this, of course, if that's your story, if this is a career story or path story, if you like, you've had some wisdoms integrated for sure about heartbreak, and this can definitely explain why we're holding back or feeling the need to engage in activities that make us hold back and watch and wait and see, and feel mistrustful of things actually working out in our favor. Because I do see there's been a time of solitude, whether we've pulled away from an old project, old collaborative partners, whatever the case may be. That industry didn't quite work out well for me. It didn't go the way I wanted it to go. So I've retreated or I've upgraded and done some healing. Okay, you might be in the healing therapies, with the intuitive or spiritual therapies as well. Also receiving a lot of downloads and messages when it comes to what you have learned about of how heartbreak has been a teacher, is what I want to say as well, Leo. Let's clarify, okay? But that first story that I was saying was the first strongest one that was coming through, okay? The second story is obviously about a sense of betrayal experienced in love and connection. We're in retrograde, guys. We're going through the old stuff that's happened in love. We're going through our old storylines as well. Whether this is no longer your story, you might be familiar with a story that felt like this from your past, okay? And the retrogrades are of that purpose. It's to bring it up so we can ask ourselves, have I truly healed? If betrayal, if issues have popped up in existing connections, old connections that you ultimately walked away from, decided it wasn't for you, or connections you later found out were purely just for physical intention. how you've worked with control energies. That's been the theme today so far with a couple of the readings. Now, it's asking you, Leo, if you have healed from the heartbreak and disappointment, and have you gone into temple? Because I do see here in many ways, as much as you retreated from a situation, as much as you walked away from a situation, put down your sword of conflict and you're not actively engaging, because there was a time where you were communicating and trying to talk it through. Yes, perhaps. Even though on some level you're currently put your swords up away from conflict or engaging in conflict, this Three of Swords still sits suspended above you as a memory to be looked. It's like front and center now. You can't repress it anymore. Because third party energy has been an issue or is an issue. So again, guys, these are general readings, but take whatever resonates for your storyline. When something has to be put to death here, something must end, and all endings are, you know, when they come from a wholesome choice, we know we've made them fully and completely, regardless, and we carry the consequences of those decisions, so that we don't continue walking down a path like this, whether we remain in a connection because we've processed and agreed to forgive and move on and learn from this together, or we've walked away from a relationship and then we find ourselves opening up to new potentials and possibilities, and we're holding ourselves back on some level, and connections no longer feel like this, but they feel, we can be in a relationship but yet feel alone and really feel like this. When at one point in that very connection it was this passion and excitement and lots of I love yous and kiss hugs and fun communications, or whatever the case may be. It's a very big part of our human experience, is that relationships evolve and grow and change. And are there Leos out there that are perhaps walking a solitary path, whether in connection or not, because there's something they cannot let go of when it comes to love, deception, fears, and continually looking back and remembering the past on some level, and how deception and feeling unsafe and unclear and allowing our fears to rule us. There's a crossroads energy here. I just saw it. Wow, crossroads. This full moon solar eclipse. Now listen, as a water sign, you guys, you know, are sisters to Cancer, so it's going to be complementary to you in many ways. I mean, sorry, I thought I was thinking of Pisces. Maybe you are connected into a Pisces, Leo. I've literally smashed all these videos in 2 days. All of the zodiacs are melting into one beautiful rainbow pond to me. But maybe that message is relevant. Okay, Leo? Maybe there was a Pisces. Maybe there's a Pisces you're watching. Maybe there's a Pisces you're holding back from. Maybe a Pisces is holding back from you on some level, if you've just met them, or whatever the case may be. Okay, this might help you understand, all right? But there's an energy here that we're not letting go of, and it's ultimately going to be a burden to us until we choose to let it go. Okay, there's quite the journey here of closure before I'm ready to truly open my heart, Leo. This is the wounded warrior. This is feeling overwhelmed with choice, and this is the 9 of Swords before I get to the Knight of Pentacles. So that is for a particular Leo out there. Let me clarify with these other cards, guys. The wisdoms of our pains are many. I feel like I'm connecting into a Leo that might not be getting much success in their communications to another half, whether you are separated by distance, okay? Whether you feel like someone is holding back on some level, whether you're questioning whether they're in it, mind, body and soul, because I do see communications here where we're talking about physical stuff and I miss this, that and the other, and but there's something else missing there, obviously. It's amazing how these things, wow, that's the Queen of Cups. Maybe you are connected into a water sign. the Cancer solar eclipse is going to be relevant. I mean, all solar eclipses are relevant to you, Leo. The Cancer one is relevant to you because that's the one coming up. You may be connecting into a water sign. Here's what I want to say, Leo. The Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and I only just said this to an Aquarius, so you may be connecting into Aquarius. Maybe those elements are within your chart too. We never truly know the Queen of Cups. She is a master of her emotions, yes, but she does not necessarily act on them. Maybe you have strong water energy in your chart, Leo. Okay? You might have a water rising sign or a moon sign, whatever the case, a Venus sign. Go check your Venus sign out. In the description box below, I provide links for your generators for free natal charts. So you're more than just Leo. That's the position the sun was in when you were born. But all of the planets had a position at the time of your birth. Okay, so your moon sign is your emotions, your Venus sign is your love sign and how you connect, your love language. And I feel very strongly when it comes to the realms of betrayal, non-trust, holding back in fear, when it comes to any connection, it doesn't just have to be romantic. You might be having great experiences in your romantic connections, but you've always had poor experiences or challenging experiences, I should say, in your family relationships, okay? Which is still a connection. So we do learn the language of love in those connections too. So go and check. I feel like I need to tell you, go and check your Venus sign and your moon sign to better understand your emotional body, your water body. But this, I won't discount the fact that you're probably connecting into a water sign, and I felt the need to say Pisces before too because of the moon sign. And then I felt even more so that the Cancer solar eclipse on the 21st is going to be very significant for you simply because it is in a sister water sign. I felt like I was talking to a Pisces, so it will be significant for the Pisces. But also just take this how it resonates, Leo. It'll be significant for you in one, of course, because it's a solar eclipse, but it's also the same day as solstice, okay? So a changing of the guard indeed. There's a shift here, a need to shift the energy of mistrust where we're always on guard, always watching and waiting. Always watching and waiting for control to happen is what I'm feeling here. Okay, there's deeper heartbreak at play, guys. Look at that, doll. Underneath that is the Queen of Wands. That's you. Maybe this is a fire sign and a water sign, okay? I really feel strongly that I'm talking to a Leo that is influenced by the fear of past heartbreaks and how those stories panned out. And so I'm really keen to ask the question, has that been let go? Because it's influencing where you're at now, and the nature of retrogrades is to bring all this up into our awareness, okay? So you might be relaying old stories and whatnot in your head, in your mind. You might be connecting to people from the past. It doesn't have to be just love and romantic relationships. It could be family you haven't talked to for a very long time. It could be friendships that ended in harsh ways, or because of betrayal, or whatever the case may be, because of lies and deception, because of controlling behavior. Let's clarify, my dear. The Six of Cups, the past is at play here, deceptive behavior and a need to heal from it. The Six of Cups, the Seven of Swords and Temperance. Maybe someone from your past has been reaching out and communicating with you, and you're very much umming and ahhing, Leo, about whether this connection is exactly what is right for you. I feel like there's a possibility there that I'm connecting into Leos that have been communicating with their past in some way. There's that Queen of Cups energy again. You might be connecting into a Taurus, but essentially it could even be someone that was a marriage or marriage-like material, someone you had once viewed. After heartbreak, you left, okay? After a time of tears, after a time of betrayal, that wanted to get out. Where was that on the top? It was a marriage. I think a proposition is being made here. I feel the need to... Wow, Leo, I like how your reading just got like episode 3 of something I would watch on Netflix, maybe. This story feels interesting. What to do. Guys, I pick up on all these frequencies and storylines, so it's hard to maintain the one story. You went from, I want to show you went from something that looked like this, and I'm not belittling that feels like absolute shithouse. We know that. It's shocking. It it does our head in, because it's like, that's not even the person I thought. I thought they wanted X, Y, Z. I thought I could trust them, you know, romantic or otherwise, all right? And then off you went on your little journey and thought, okay, I'll walk away. And you started to manifest new opportunities perhaps, and then boom, here's an offer. An offer is being made. I also want to say, Leo, there's something you intuitively knew or you wanted to call in, because there's manifestation energy here with the Magician and Three of Wands. You've perhaps known this was going to come, Leo. You've known this was going to happen. Okay, so I do see here, I'm going to say for the Leos that are connecting into their past on some level, you know, I do see it's someone, a strong soul bond from the past, but deception was at play. Okay, and there's a need there definitely to communicate about deception and how someone's selfish behaviors were an influence to the breaking down of this connection, to the need for healing. My perceptions and my perceptions and views and feelings about this connection. There was a spiritual healing that took place after deception, the discovery of deception, and someone's... But I also want to say this is also an individual just taking only what they need so they can heal. You know, we might have... If this is to do with family and children, okay, so this is childhood. I'm taking only what I need in the Seven of Swords and moving towards healing, because I ultimately want to heal my deeper beliefs about love, and then I still believe in it. Okay? That Queen of Cups showed up again when it comes to someone. Maybe you're watching a Queen of Cups, maybe a Queen of Cups is watching you, or you feel this Queen of Cups actually, because I was just mentioned that earlier. You feel this Queen of Cups is holding back on some level, but you know she's watching, and you're wanting to research her, really looking to see what she's doing online too. Now, like I said earlier, the Queen of Cups, she doesn't really show her emotions. She's mysterious, okay? But we feel safe in her presence when we're around her. Maybe this was a marriage. And she's not just to her, it's a higher spiritual relationship, if anything. It was a significant soul bond that you had called in, that you are calling in after a time of heartbreak. There is a coming together here of something passionate and equal and exciting. So let me read this for Leos that have been through the lessons of heartbreak, and this feels like past energy. I do want to say you are hesitant in any prospect or a current prospect. You are holding back a little bit, okay? But you do sense there are deeper connectors here, like deeper spiritual connections. You do definitely sense the physical connection and the excitement there, the passion, the creative connection. On some level, you know that you have drawn this in. There's a conversation not happening. You're holding back on conversations, not saying things. So perhaps when we meet someone, we're following old society rules, yeah? There's that retrograde stuff again, saying you need to be dating for a certain amount of time before you actually say, what is this? Is what I need to say. Family values getting in the way of me wanting to go back to a connection that I should not be going back to because they've done something in the past. There's questions here about, can we truly come together again and make this marriage work, make this connection work? The past is at play here, Leo, and it's needing healing about deceptive communications. Communications about deception is a necessary conversation, okay? Children are could definitely be involved as well, but there's healing here in the realms of a very important connection. There's healing here in our very concepts of love, intimacy, and connection, and what we want moving forward. The Queen of Cups is definitely holding back on some level, okay, if that's relevant, but not unaware. You feel the need to connect to her in other ways by watching her, but you feel that this is a higher connection, okay? There's a higher lesson to this. and an opportunity. And strongly, I'm going to say there is a beautiful opportunity for a reignition of the physical, the passion, the excitement, the confidence in our connection and our coming together. Will you stay or will you go? Literally, there's an offer here. I'm wanting to make an offer. Okay, something is offered here. That's you. Something's going to require courage, this conversation. They're going in. There's wisdom here that's been gained, or there's a need for them to really go in. You both see the potential, want to commit, but there's a need to get over an emotional loss. And there's a potential that someone feels like walking away. This is a new connection. You're definitely still getting over an emotional loss, okay? And there's a need to walk away in that regard. But at any rate, both parties see the potential and want to commit. But there is a journey to go within first. There's a journey to navigate by going within. Okay, my lovely Leo. You guys are the last one off the deck. Feel the need to pull a soul card, my dear. If you haven't already, please do go ahead and check out your monthly reading. I can't for the life of me remember what that one was titled. Let's see the video uploads. There's 3 that want to jump. Growth, adversity, and grief. Definitely, I can be doubting any new revivals within an existing connection. I can be doubting love in my life. I can be doubting new offers and opportunities at love when I'm certainly going through this process of grief, when love has certainly been a memories of adversity for me, when I'm still remembering adversity, when I'm still grieving. But this is the time. These feelings are re-emerging. This need for healing, deeper stuff that has ultimately been keeping us held back is coming up for a reason, Leo, and it's coming for the purpose of growth. There is a mixture of masculine and feminine energy here that's inviting us to infuse not just our intuitive body, but our action body too, okay? So our feminine goes in and intuits and nurtures and goes into temple to heal. And our masculine goes out to act and make choices, to decide how we're going to allow. You know, when we stay stagnant in one or the other, we don't get true union. And that's just in self. My lovely Leo, I'm just trying to remember your Pisces, why do I keep saying Pisces, Leo? Maybe you have that in your chart. The evidence of your manifestation. Okay, so I'm just trying to remember. You're seeing results, you're seeing things happen, okay? But there might be some healing work, something coming up, okay, in the first couple of weeks of June, thanks to this retrograde energy, thanks to the eclipses, that there's a growth opportunity here. There's going to be some grief and memories of adversity that we're perhaps doubting that need to be let go of too, okay? Alrighty, my lovely Leos, let me know if it resonates in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see you later in the month. Take care. Enjoy your first couple of weeks of June.